You alright, guys?
I'm Dan.
And I'm Andy.
Welcome to Game Couch.
Right, this week we're going to be taking a look at EA Games' Army of Two, The Devils Cartel, which is the third game in the Army of Two series.
Now, if you've watched any of our previous videos or you've seen our Let's Play of the Devils Cartel demo, you'll know that we really don't like Army of Two, The 40th Day, which was the second game in the series. In fact, we really don't like Army of Two, The 40th Day, and it sits quite comfortably in one of our most hated games of all time slots.
Yep, so you could predict that we're quite dubious about this game, given that the second one was shite. So, yeah, we'll give it a chance anyway and get cracking.
Army of Two, The Devils Cartel, after a brief prologue, opens 5 years ago to introduce Alpha and Bravo, the two new protagonists that replaced Salem and Rios from the first two games. After the training mission, followed by Alpha and Bravo's first ever combat mission, in which there's a very early and surprising plot twist, we skip back to the present where the TW operatives have been hired to protect a Mexican mayor called Cordova from the cartels that want him dead. A battle ensues and Cordova is taken prison, and the rest of the game is spent trying to get him back. At least that's the gist of it.
Unlike Army of Two 40th Day, Devils Cartel actually has a plot. Granted, it's nothing original or groundbreaking, but it's decent enough to keep the game flowing and includes several twists, which keep it interesting, and also it's sometimes desperate. It's also a lot longer than Army of Two 2, which is good because Army of Two 2 to 2 2 was quite pathetically short and would have made half a decent intro to a game.
Alpha and Bravo, aside from their really unoriginal names, are both likeable guys with entertaining banter. There's quite a lot of customization options, from signature masks to the in-game mask editor, multiple uniforms. You kind of get the impression that unlike Salem and Rios, Alpha and Bravo are a bit more of a blank canvas which you can paint yourself onto. This does mean there's very little in the way of character development, but I guess it's kind of to be expected. There's even a joke made about Alpha having to be careful in case he develops a personality.
Gameplay-wise, Army of Two plays very well. Guns and grenades feel very weighty and powerful, and the high level of gore is a welcome in a semi-realistic shooter. Shooting somebody with a .50 caliber sniper rifle feels more satisfying when you can see their limbs flying off and their heads popping like big juicy melons.
Boobs!
The environments are also semi-destructible, which forces you to move from cover to cover when what you're hiding behind gets completely trashed. Combine this with an AI which will actually try to flank you and throw grenades at you when you dig in, makes for some very dynamic and entertaining set battle pieces.
As we mentioned before, the Devils Cartel is longer than 40th Day. This is partly down to the fact it has more missions, which are broken up into sections that range from large open battlefields to tight enclosed spaces, and partly down to the sheer amount of enemies the game throws at you in any one mission. There are literally thousands of enemies in Army of 2-3. It's actually amazing how many members this one cartel supposedly has. Surprisingly though, even in sections when you might fight up to 100 enemies before the end, it never gets boring, primarily because it gets the balance right, ending each section before the barrage would get too much.
Devils Cartel almost seems self-aware.
It's using tools!
Alright, and consistently seems to be taking the piss out of itself, which is one of the reasons why we like it so much. As it progresses, it gradually gets more and more over the top, with cheesier dialogue and more cliched story elements. It feels like you're playing the version of what the Expendables movie should have been, a cheesy, over-the-top, super violent 1980s action movie, and it works.
Army of Two, The Devils Cartel is a good game. As surprising as that may be, it is. It's got fun characters, it's got a non-stop silly storyline, lots and lots of enemies to kill with lots and lots of guns and bombs to kill them with. It's a huge improvement on the second one, and it seems to have saved the series from damnation. If you're wanting a break from games like COD or Battlefield, which take themselves way too seriously, then we highly recommend you buy and play The Devils Cartel.
Boom!
Shakalaka.
Cheers for watching, guys. That was Army of Two, The Devils Cartel.
Hope you enjoyed it. As usual, if you've got any comments on the video you've just seen, or any requests for any videos or games you want us to cover in the future, please stick them in the section below.
Don't forget to subscribe and check out our other stuff. Also, please find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Cheers for watching. One last thing, we're going to take a break probably for a couple of months, like over the summer, primarily because there's fuck all coming out game related, and what is coming out neither of us can really afford to get at the moment.
Yeah, we'll still be doing the few occasional Let's Plays and things like that, but hopefully when it gets closer to Christmas we'll start with the weekly reviews again. So
yeah. Until then,
see ya.